What's up, beautiful people? It's me, Ricky Jones Jr., back again with your favorite Christian podcast. It's me, Ricky Jones Jr., and I am also excited to be with you all here today. As you might have seen or may not seen, we're going to be talking about purpose today, but then outside of that, we're going to also talk about vision, which are two big things, right, as it pertains to being kingdom citizens, as being Christians, but then as being people at the end of the day, because where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. And what we don't want to do is to live our life abusing each and every opportunity that we get, or each and every day. Why? Because each and every day is an opportunity for us to live life in its complete form, right? And with the purpose in mind of why we are here, we're able to live a fulfilled life, a happy life, a pleasurable life, a enjoyable life. We wake up with excitement and enjoyment for each and every day and opportunity that we get to live this life, to do what we do. And ultimately, we should do what we were born to do, okay? And the great thing about purpose, which I'm going to also dive into it as it pertains to families, is that when it becomes or pertains to purpose, we should always think back to why we're here. But then I suppose, like, you try to figure out why am I here? Like, how do I get that answer? You ask the source for anything. If anything that is being created, you always go back to the source of the creator of that thing to ask why, inquire why, find out why, and things like that as to why something was created. And so us as being humans, people, we were first with God, and with God, he knew us even before we were formed in our mother's belly, as it was said in Jeremiah. God knew Jeremiah, right? He knew what he would do. He knew the purpose for his life. He knew the things that he would do as he lived out life, and he was sharing that with Jeremiah, which is in Jeremiah, I think 29:11, very familiar passage. But then outside of that, that lets us know that God knew us even before we were in our mother's womb. But then in knowing us, he knew what we would do. And that's why we should always tap into God when we're trying to figure out, why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I here to do? What am I here to fulfill? And things like that, which is also cool, right? And I say it's cool knowing like where everything came from, which in essence is Genesis. Like a lot of what we deal with now and the things that we go through now took place in Genesis. Long story short, right? Because, you know, I like to give it, now that we're here, in a sense where, you know, in Genesis, that's where Adam partook of the forbidden fruit, right? The fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And at that point, Adam fell. What did he fall from, right? We hear Adam fell and we're like, oh man, like boom, 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 boom and doom. And it wasn't that Adam fell from heaven. How do we know that? Because he was already on earth. So it wasn't that he fell from heaven. It wasn't that he fell from life. Why? Because he continued to live life. But he fell from what he was given and tasked to do, which is have dominion and authority over this earth. He then lost that. He fell from that rulership and handed over to Satan. So what that lets us know in that little snippet of the story is that what's up, great people? So, hey, there are 3 steps to living your purposeful life, and those are discover, right? First, you have to discover what your purpose is. The second thing is you have to develop that gift that you have on the inside of you. And the third thing is you are launching out, deploying in the purpose that you've discovered and developed. And then, man, what a life on the other end. What a life of fulfillment, happiness, joy, peace, and certainty, right? Who wants to have certainty each and every day that they wake up? Well, my friends, you can do that. And with the help of Purpose Activation, the ultimate community that's going to help you not only inspire, but encourage you, but also empower you to be able to live that purposeful life. Hey, tap in, link down below. Or if you just, you know, can hear and do, you can go to leap.apurposefulpursuit.com, because it takes a leap to live a life full of purpose. However, it's the leap that you want to make. I see you on the other end, y'all. All have power. We all have authority. However, when we yield ourselves over to what Satan suggests us to do, we then yield over that power. We yield over that authority. So sometimes we're not living in our purpose. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing because we're yielding to thoughts that may be negative, suggestions that may be contradictory to where we should be going, what we should be doing. But ultimately, when we yield to those thoughts, when we yield to those people, those friends, those loved ones, and people that have good ideas, but they aren't are God's ideas, and then we then yield over our rulership, our authority, our dominion in this world that we should be doing. And so with Adam doing that, all that to say, with Adam doing that, now we have to go back to the source, because as Adam did, so have we came into this world, right? With that rulership being taken away, which, you know, as the Bible lets us know, that Satan is the ruler of this world, right? But at the end of the day, God owns it all. So God does what he wants to do. And at the end of the day, when we check in, when we listen to, when we reach out to, when we pray, when we meditate, when we take journal notes and things like that, we find out, hey, God, what am I supposed to be doing? And with that, you go and run, okay? And then in Habakkuk, it lets us know that what we should do with visions, right? We write the vision, make it plain. And the fun thing about visions that I've come to realize is that visions are the vehicle in which God will use his purpose for our lives to fulfill, right? Vehicles for fulfillment of purpose. And I'm wearing this shirt. It's a attached shirt. This was a company in which I started with, along with my wife, and I had one great vision, one great idea, which was to bring people together that were business owners. I wanted to bring seasoned business owners with up-and-coming business owners in that same sector, in that same field, and I wanted to bring them together so that we would merge the gap between the person who had experience and a person who was just getting in. And, you know, I saw it being beneficial, I saw it being useful, but that was like my heart behind the brand. And so I had the clothing that was going to go along with it, just to show like boom, 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 boom. And so that was like my vision, that was my heart, that was my desire. However, it wasn't the time, right? It wasn't when I was supposed to be doing it. I just, for those who know me, for those that are getting to know me, I'm one of the ones that hears from God and I'm running, right? But now I'm being more strategic and hearing from God, but then asking God when. When do you want me to do this? When do you want me to do that? Because I do believe that God will share you things that you should do, not necessarily that you should do immediately, but things that you should do so that you can even be prepared. You could even be looking out. You could even be doing things necessary in the interim until you actually hit go. Right? And so that's the cool thing about that. But anyway, I started it. It'll come back one day, just not today. But I say that to say, like, the purpose of who I am, right? Now we're going to talk about purpose as it pertains to families, because as you may be an individual that may not be married right now, what you should desire and should want is that when you do link up with somebody, that you all can share a commonality in purposes, so that when you come together, you can execute those things together, okay? That's the reason why, you know, Eve was Eve, right? Adam needed a helpmate, so that helpmeet, so that he can fulfill and continue to do all that God had empowered him, purposed him, and equipped him to do. And so, you know, God saw that it wasn't suitable for man to be living alone, and he didn't have somebody to do life with. And so, boom, God created woman, right? Adam called her Eve at the end of the day. But anyway, not to get too much in that, but boom, I had to pray, right? And so this was actually something that I did this year, truth be told. I was like, God, like, what's the purpose of the Jones family? Like, what is it that we're supposed to be doing? I know what you've called me to do as an individual. However, now in this union, we should be in line with what we're doing together. And God gave it very simply, gave it very plain. And I was like, okay. I mean, I thought it was going to be a little bit more extravagant than that. But hey, it's the simple things that we can go and run with as our purpose of the family. I shared it with Crystal, and she was like, okay, I can rock with that. I can see that, which it should be able to connect and confirm. Okay. You shouldn't want to talk to anybody and try to convince them of different things that God said. You should try to, you know, connect and confirm. If it's a convincing thing, just leave it alone. Maybe it's not the time. And the list goes on, right? I'm not giving marriage advice, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? We're already in there. But at the end of the day, now it's like, okay, God, what is the vision? Like, what is the vision that you see for us, in which God gives us those glimpses of the various visions and the vehicles in which we'll be able to live out our purpose as a family. And it's oh so cool. Like, at the end of the day, it's amazing. I think, like, soon, when I say soon, I do mean soon, that we'll start, you know, doing more on our family YouTube channel, just showing you different things and behind the scenes as we progress in life, because we have some big things coming up. And, you know, Big things, big things. Within the next 5 years, big things coming up. And I say 5 years, right? People, like, when you hear 5 years, you think like that's a long time, but truth be told, is really not. 5 years ago from now, it was what, the year 2017. The year 2017, I think Crystal and I were 3 years in marriage. Rain was 1, and we were like, at this point, living an interesting life. A lot has transpired at that time, of what, August 2017. But at the end of the day, like, we're 5 years removed, and so much that we have had a son. He's now in early childhood education. Rain's in 1st grade. Like, the list goes on. We've opened up a couple of businesses since then. But I said it to say, like, a lot can take place in 5 years. So don't think that immediate always has to happen, but no, you have to be in a long game. When you think about purpose, when you think about vision, when you think about living this life, right? Life is a journey. Enjoy the steps, progress along the steps as you're discovering your purpose, and now, you know, starting to get into that thing, develop in it, right? Don't just be quick to just launch out, because you could be out there doing something that you shouldn't be doing. It could be a good thing, but all good things aren't the thing that you should be doing. Like, I'm focused on having better, right? I look at things as good, better, and best, because I know that God gives me the best at the end of the day, you know, but I present and I desire to do better, because the enemy to better is good. Okay, you can do some good things and just be like swallowed in those good things, thinking you're doing what you should be doing, but you feel like there's better. Like, I'm focused on getting to that better, and I'm striving, and I'm praying, and I'm hearing, and I'm doing, and I'm growing, and I'm reading, and I'm learning, and I'm praying and meditating. Like, the list goes on, right? Journaling and all of those things, so that I can stay one with God, my source of everything, so that when God says, I move, right? And that's just is what it is. And that's what purpose allows for you to do. You stay in that lane, you stay in that vein, you stay in that area in which you're supposed to be. And when that door opens, when those opportunities comes, you take it. Let your yes be your yes. Like, we were talking the other day at work, and one of the gentlemen was talking about now, right? It's about that now. And now was an acronym for no opportunity wasted. Like, you go for it. If this is the opportunity, you go for it. Let your yeses be your yes, but say more yeses than nos. Like, there should be a season in which, when you're striving for more, you're striving to do more, you're striving to be what you were called to be, where you say yes, and don't let doubt, fear, suggestions of inadequacies or lack of knowledge or experience make you say no. Like, that goes back to the Adam days, where Adam gave up what he was supposed to do, knowing what he should be doing, right? But when it's a thing that's within your purpose, and you know that God is with you, and God will lead you and guide you into all truth, and he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask, think, or imagine, you step up to the plate and say yes. Like, yes, like, when are you ready? Because you know that you're not stepping up there by yourself, but you have help that will speak with you and for you in those times in which you feel like you don't have what you need to be saying, you don't know what you need to know, and you feel like you're gonna have stage fright. Truth be told, like, here I am. I love communicating. I love talking. Like, I love hosting. I love all of those things. I love being in front of people. I love being in front of cameras, obviously. I love being on the mic, obviously. And saying all those things to say, every time I step on stage, there's always that butterfly feeling. There's always that thought, like, man, like, should I be doing this? Like, God, what do you want me to say? But I pray. I pray that I'm an instrument. God, here, I'm a willing vessel. Use my mouth. Say what needs to be said. Stop what doesn't need to be said, because I have thoughts, right? I have different thoughts. It's funny. Like, if you watch me, I don't know where you would, but you can watch me doing different hosting things and things like that, and you'll see, like, it's a fun thing, right? But it's fun. It's funny. People talk about it after I come off stage and like, man, that was entertaining. That was fun. Like, there's one lady, I love her. I love her dearly. She every time she's around when I'm hosting, she says, man, you miss your calling. You should have been a comedian. And I love it. I really, really do. I really, but at the end of the day, I feel like there's still time. If I'm supposed to be a comedian, I will be. But in the meantime, in between time, I love making people laugh. I love bringing smiles to people's faces. So I'm going to say something funny. I'm going to do something that is going to make us have a pleasurable experience, okay? And so that's what I do. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, talking about purpose, talking about vision, but more than anything, what I do want to make sure of is that we as men, we as fathers, we as husbands have to make sure that our families align with the purpose of which God put us together. Because as the Bible says, when two come together, they become one. So what is that one supposed to be doing? What is that purpose for that one of a unity supposed to do? What task are we supposed to fulfill? What people are we supposed to reach? What change are we supposed to make? How are we supposed to be a light in this world, bringing and glorifying God, bringing others to God and glorifying Him? One of the scriptures that's tattooed on me is Matthew chapter 5:16, which says, "Let your light so shine before men, so that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Like, that's my heart desire. Like, I'm free. I'm free, and who the sun sets free is free indeed. So obviously y'all getting that spillage of Tuesday's episode. But you know, I'm just spilling out what's in. And it's in, and I'm excited to be free. I'm excited to share, and I'm excited to help and be a beacon. And we're gonna talk about some fun stuff, like I said. But right now I'm on that purpose kick. Like, I know that's the purpose of the unity of my wife and I, and we're here to help. We have a business that's here to help as well. So if you're still trying to figure out what your purpose is, you're trying to figure out how to work in that purpose, or you're just trying to get out into the world with the different things that you've been purposed to do, holla at us. We have a space for you. We have a way to get you to where you're supposed to be faster. And we have a community that is here for you, to love on you, to encourage you, to pray with you, and to give you everything that you need to get from wherever your point is. You may not be in point A. You may be in point M, right? And you're trying to get to point Z. Holla at me, okay? And that website, just so you know, is www.leap.purposefulpursuit.com. And we do webinars on Sunday right now. And so, you know, tap in, check in. I'll put links down below for those things. And, you know, we can get in. We can get in. We here for you all. Our desire is to serve 500 families a month. It's not hard. It's not hard. We kind of know amongst each other 500 people. So at the end of the day, we trying to serve 500 people a month. We know we can do it. We put it out there because we know that things are created with the words that we say. So 500 families are on the way, and we just going to roll with them. We're going to roll with them, and we don't want to hold those 500 families. Granted, we're going to love on them throughout, but we just want to keep people, we want people come in and out. In and out. They come in with a need, and they go out succeeding. Succeeding. Why? Because it's going to keep building the kingdom and glorifying God at the end of the day. We're going to let our light shine in this world, okay? And I can go on in that respect. I get excited every time I think about people operating in all that they were created to be. Like, that brings me joy. It really does. But it also hurts when I see people that are living below where they want to be, where they know they should be, and they're allowing mental blocks or self-suggestion or negativity or unnecessary blocks stop them from where they're supposed to be. And you can just hear it. And every time I hear it, it hurts, because I know that is just nothing. Right? Nothing. If you receive the truth, you can realize how nothing that thing is, and then you can operate in full abundance, assurance, and confidence in that thing that you're supposed to be doing. So, in it all, with it all, like I said, I'm having fun. I'm having fun in this new freedom. That's what y'all are hearing. That's what y'all are seeing. But you'll be getting more of it with clarity at the end of the day. Y'all know I love clarity. With it all, in it all, I appreciate you all. I really do. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. More importantly, thank you for allowing me to grow before you all. Because, you know, it is what it is. But when that mountaintop comes, and we're there, you'll be able to see the progression in which I went in. And I'm glad this is documented. I'm glad this is all recorded, because it's going to be a blessing to those that are up and coming and desire more and want more and know the different things that are on their lives, the callings on their life, the places they should be, the places that they will be that they aren't currently. And they'll be able to see these videos and be like, man, this dude Ricky was here too. This dude Ricky was doing this too. And he believed, and he spoke, and then he saw, and now he's doing, All right. So in it all, let me get off. I get teary-eyed. I'll share because I'm excited because I see what's to come. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace.